Hi Ananya, how are you?
Hi, Alia. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. So maybe we can start this with a little introduction of yourself. If you can give us your academic background, your hobbies, basically the floor is open to you.
Sure. So, I am somebody who's done my bachelor's in business administration. I graduated in 2023. And during my undergraduation years, I was a part of many teams. I headed a team named UI Ignited Minds, which was an NGO. So, we helped a lot of people, and we also had a lot of street dogs. We buckled their collars with reflective bands, because of which people would not run over them in the night. We helped the underprivileged community a lot. We focused a lot on self-help and all of that as well. So this was one part of it. I was also the head of a team called the Master of Ceremonies team. So this was a public speaking platform where I headed around 60 people. They were working under me, and I taught them how to speak in public, write good scripts, engage audience, and all of that. And I was a mentor for Toastmasters International. So I completed my pathway, which is 16 projects. So I finished that. And I also was a senior mentor. So I mentored around 50 individuals, and they gave around 100 to 150 speeches. And same thing, public speaking, scripting, delivering confidently is what Toastmasters was around. So during all of this, I balanced my academics and I scored around an 8.5 CGPA. And then go taking a step back, I did my PCMB from Diksha. And during that year, I really understood myself for who I am. Because I got a great set of friends, and I think friends really help you in understanding who you are. And that was Diksha. School was very basic, first to 10th, normal school life, nothing major there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then after my graduation, I worked in a place called MyGate. I was the senior client account manager there. So it was a ops, finance, and marketing role. So I did everything. It was a great role for me because I understood what I really want to do after BBA, and here I am now.
That's great to hear. That's lovely. So could you let us know which school did you receive an offer letter from?
So I got into Boston University and Warwick Business School.
Okay, that's
So
congratulations.
yeah, thank you so much. I am in the midst of deciding what I want to do, which one I want to go ahead with, laying the pros and cons out right now. But yeah, I have offers from these two schools, and I'm waiting. I'm going to get on a call with Sahil and then get come to a decision about it.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So was any of these schools your dream schools?
Yes, they were. Warwick was one of my dream schools. Boston was a safe school. I'd rather say that, because Boston's MIM program is comparatively new, but Boston has a great name in the US.
Yeah.
It's one of the top colleges there. So I'm still, wondering what I'd want to do. I also had Imperial on my mind, Imperial College London.
Yeah.
I have gotten waitlisted for it. I'm waiting to hear back. So let's see.
Okay, all the best for that. So how did you feel when you opened the offer letters?
Oh my God. I think it was a feeling I cannot describe, to be very honest. It's because for almost the past 6 months, I have been um, doing my GMAT, applying to colleges, coming up with essays. It's a very long process, right? It's not as short as applying to a college in India and just getting through. It's not as simple as that. So this takes a much longer period of time. So when this finally happened, it was excitement, happiness, something, you feel like you proved yourself, because these are all great schools. They're all brilliant schools, and Sahil deals with only these great schools. So that's admits call, obviously. So it was ecstatic. It was great. It was the best feeling. It was like a dream come true, very honestly. And now, because they say congratulations on the top of the email, so it's good
Yeah.
news that you're opening the email to. So it's a brilliant feeling, and I really hope everybody gets to experience a feeling like that someday.
Yeah, once again, congratulations for that. I'm sure it must have been a very amazing feeling, relieved as well. So you just mentioned, Boston was your safe university and Warwick was definitely one of your dream schools. So can you just let us know maybe in a little detail why did you choose, these two schools and the program as well? Why did you choose to do an MIM?
Sure. So, to begin off with, a master's in management is a program that is picking up a lot of relevance in the past 2, 3 years. It's something people are looking for because now an MBA is something that you need to work for 3 years and then go towards. And honestly, I don't want to study so later into my life. I want to get done with my education and, really, grow on my own feet and like do something by myself. So that aside, my mother has her own preschool and I want to take that ahead. So it's from obviously nursery to, UKG. I want to take that ahead, make it one of the biggest schools in India, open a lot of franchisees for it, and make sure it's big. And I don't want to wait for a much longer period of time to do that. First thing is that, and the second thing, the MIM curriculum is now wonderful. It offers a lot of great subjects which are related to entrepreneurship and business. If you want to even get into the corporate world, it teaches you so much about people, so much about leadership, so much about ethics, everything that you need to know to be good in a normal corporate business job. The subjects are beautiful and it's something very honestly that you'll not find in India. It's not very flexible in India, but abroad it's extremely flexible, and you get the chance to even take a break in the middle and do an internship if you want to and then jump back into the program, and I think that's great. It's very flexible and that's why MIM, because it's the right time, it's the right curriculum for me, and it's also what I want to do in the future, and this program really helps me with that. The second thing, your question was why these two schools, right? First thing being the curriculums of both the schools, they're very business oriented and they're very hands on. They're not theory. You don't have to just go look at a textbook and, say, okay, fine, I've learned this today. But you also get a chance to actually understand with, hands on experience in business. In fact, Warwick has a very beautiful thing where they take you outside the country for a few months and they pay for your accommodation, your flights, everything, and you get to you get to do business with other companies in the other country. So I think this is such a brilliant opportunity for us to learn, because until you do business, you cannot really understand business. It will have its own ups and downs, which you will not expect. So that's why Warwick. Boston, again, definitely for its curriculum and its alumni network. Boston is very well known in the US. And I think getting hired after you graduate from some place like Boston is very high. So that's why Boston University, name, curriculum, placement, everything.
Okay, okay, that's great. So moving on, can you let us know what challenges did you face during the application process?
Sure. I think the first hurdle to begin with was GMAT. It's one of the biggest hurdles you'll have to face. So, very honestly, I'm not the most academically inclined student. I've always been in the range of 85 to 90, never crossed a 92, 93 in my life ever. So, cat was already a big challenge in my head, and GMAT felt like an easier option when I was contemplating between India and studying abroad. But I'd like to say that GMAT is also not a cakewalk. It's definitely hard. It's not as easy as we might think it is. So the first hurdle was GMAT and getting that out of the way. After that, your biggest hurdle comes down to what college, why do you want to go to this college, what curriculum. So Admit Scholar really helps you with that entire process of, understanding which school you should go to, what is good for you, and, really taking the time out to give you that personal attention that you need in a period of time like this, because everybody who's doing their masters is doing it for the first time. You've heard about a lot of colleges, but you don't know if those are right for you. So I know Sahil really sat with me and they really chalked down what is good for me. I had a whole masterminding call with him where he understood me for who I am, what I need to do, the kind of colleges that really align with my career goals. So that was great. That kind of help was very important. After this, obviously, comes the whole essay process. You, even if you're somebody who really writes well, you sometimes don't know if that is what is appealing to an admissions committee, right? For example, my story is very different from your stories, and so your story will have its own ups and mine will have mine own ups. So Sahil, or rather Admit Scholar in general, really helps you figure out what you need to put in your application and the way you need to put it. So along with Sahil, I also had a mentor named Francesca. Now she's one of the best people I've met until today, to be very honest, because she was not only a counselor but she's also a friend. So I was really able to talk to her about what I want to do, where I want to be. And when these counselors really understand you, they're able to put that out in your application, right? So that also is one of the biggest advantages, because you guys take very limited number of people. This helps you understand like others. So I had gone to another counselor, where, to be very honest, before Admit Scholar, and I wasn't very happy. And that is when I started looking out on Google, and that's how I found Admit Scholar. And I'm so glad I took that decision.
That's great. That's great. So you've mentioned, you mentioned Sahil, you mentioned Francesca. Just adding on to it, if you could just, let us know more on your experience working with Sahil and also your experience working with Francesca.
Sure. So, with Sahil is somebody who's very, very knowledgeable. He knows the in and out of this business. He knows what needs to be put in which manner. Like, for example, I'll just say my name is Ananya, but he'll make that sound like such a huge thing that you feel like, oh, I've done this. So I think he's very good with his words, and he's very good at what he does. He knows how to appeal to an admissions committee, and he's very patient with you. For example, the first time I gave the GMAT, I didn't do really well, and I was very upset. And he was very patient with me, and he's like, even if it doesn't work out, there are other colleges you can apply to, and they are brilliant colleges. So he's very supportive and also emotionally available for you, because this whole process becomes very taxing over the period of time, right? So he's that person who will be emotionally available, but also is very, what can I say, smart. At the same time, he puts logic and emotion together on the same plate and ensures he brings that balance out. So leaving aside that, he is very good with this entire process. He knows everything about it. And I think that's the cherry on top of the cake, because whatever doubt you have, he'll have a solution to that. He'll help you within seconds. He's very proactive. I don't need to wait for hours to get a reply from him, because we're so anxious when things like this happen. So he's extremely proactive, and that's what helps. With Francesca was more like a friend to me, to be very honest. In this generation, we say she's a girl's girl, and that was Francesca to me. So I remember when I was applying to one of the just when I was applying to Boston, in fact, I had opened up about something in my past, which I wrote about in my application, which is one of the darkest periods of my life. And she was so supportive about it. And she said, I'm so glad you wrote it. And she obviously refined it, but ensured that my emotion wasn't lost in the process, because I was very skeptical about writing about it, because it also speaks a little about my weakness and what I had to work upon during that period of time. But she was so supportive, and it felt like I was talking to my best friend, and I didn't have to hesitate. And that was one of the most beautiful parts of this journey, because of how accepting the team you've built is. So yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear. So moving on, you must have had your first consultation call with Admit Scholar, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so how was it? Can you describe that experience as well?
It was so smooth, to be very honest. I remember it was around 12 in the night when I actually came across Admit Scholar, and I booked the call with Sahil that time. And I think a day or two, I'm not sure exactly, I had a meeting with him. He told me about the entire process, about how he deals with only the best of colleges, and he wants his students to get in there. And also, Sahil being an alumni of INSEAD gives you a lot of confidence, because he's somebody who's already there, and he's somebody who's gone through this process. So instead of going to somebody who's just another counselor who's not done this thing, going to him really makes you understand that knows everything. So he spoke to me about what I should be doing, the colleges, everything. And first thing, right off the bat, something I observed about Sahil, he wanted me to get into a good place. As much as I was eager, he was eager, and I could see that just in the first call. And he's really invested and interested in your career, and he wants to understand you. He wants to put in the time, even if it's 2 hours of his day. He wants to put in the time to understand you, and that is exactly what I needed that time. I needed somebody to listen to me. So the first call was about me, what I want to do, how the counseling process is going to be. And he was very open to having another call to just talk to my parents, because he understands that that's where everything, all most of the decisions will be made from. So yeah, this was the first call.
Okay, okay. So on that note, would you recommend Admit Scholar to others?
Definitely, in a blink of an eye.
Okay. And just, a last closing question. Do you have any tips of, advice or words of encouragement for, all future applicants?
Definitely. I think one thing will be don't lose hope in the process. Stay confident. Know that you are in a particular stage because you deserve it, and I'm sure they'll get to places. Just be patient, be confident, don't lose hope. And if you do choose Admit Scholar, you're making the right decision. So this is pretty much it. I think if you have patience and you don't lose your confidence, you'll be fine.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Ananya, for your time. And it was lovely
You.
talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.